All right. Hi, everyone. This is Cheryl Davis. I'm a Jedi. I work under Smarty, which is under Daddy, Source, God. And I have with me today Jedi Anthony. And I had the pleasure of meeting Anthony through doing various projects. He was our technical guru kind of guy. And meeting with him and working with him, started realizing how advanced and how amazing his abilities were. And he had kind of shared with where he had started and shared where as he was growing. So we thought this would be great for him to just share his experiences for others to learn from, and also just to see how far he's grown. It's been absolutely amazing. So, hi, Anthony. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good. Thank you. So happy you're here.
Yeah, I know. I've been waiting for this for a long time.
I know. I've been looking forward to it too. So I'm so grateful that we're able to do this. So basically, just wanted to have a conversation for you to kind of explain what's been going on with you, and where you've been, and just where you're at now. So I guess, how did you become a Jedi?
All this basically started at the start of the scamdemic, right? Like, everything started going haywire in the world. I could clearly tell, okay, something isn't right here. And then my mom went, oh, hey, Anthony, there's this guy called King Smarty. And I'm like, oh, cool. So I started learning from her about the stuff, and then I went to his Telegram and stuff. And, I learned about how to do, commands, I guess, right? And, learning how to do healing and protection.
Wow.
Before I learned about how to do protections from Smarty, I used orange flames. I distinctly remember the first time I started using it was I was walking upstairs in my old house, and I was feeling a bit uneasy. So I just had this ring of orange flames across my body as I went up the stairs, so nothing could touch me from the outside. I didn't realize that something could be trying to touch me from the inside too, but we'll get to that later. Right? So I was like, oh, the Phoenix is saving me or whatever. And I also had castle walls and little castle turrets on my bed to protect me at night and stuff. So I started off with that. And I learned about all the quote-unquote conspiracy stuff that we've all known now, if you're a Jedi.
That's great. So all of a sudden you just started seeing flames around you, or explain that again?
I still think it's visualizing because I still have still today, I still have to focus in on it, just sort of imagine that it's happening, because
okay.
I think what it is I have a middle of the etheric kind of thing where I can feel it's happening, but I have to figure it out.
That's amazing. Yeah, definitely. The telepathic ability is a combination of different senses and going within, because we are multidimensional beings. So we have various aspects of ourselves happening and doing different things at all times. So that's amazing. So, okay, so you had flames all around you.
Yeah.
Okay, and then from there?
I know, today it sounds wrong. I always thought of using flames to cleanse areas, and now I'm like, okay, that was probably not the right thing to do.
And that's great that you were starting somewhere, and that you were so
I know.
open-minded.
I was just experimenting with it. Seeing
that's great.
How to do it, yeah. Just the basic idea.
And then from there, how did you transform it into the next level?
Well, I don't really remember how it happened, but one day a book came to me, Mind Power. And in this book, it was explaining about cosmic energy. And how you could draw cosmic energy. You could lie down, open the roof of your house in your mind, and let the cosmic energy rain on you. Like cosmic energy is like a big white beam of like particles and stuff, right? So I
Okay.
did that then, and I transitioned from the flames to that, and I still do that every day now. But I don't do the whole getting stuff from the ceiling as much anymore because I could just take it directly if I want.
And you put it as like a protection around you or
No, I
clearing the.
didn't, but I did use it to do healings. The first time I tried doing a healing like across Canada for somebody was it was like nighttime, and I'm like, okay, I gotta make sure that my grandma and grandpa are sleeping comfortably. So I had the energy run through the telephone wires all the way to their house across Canada, and then it
Whoa.
went up and it drilled into their brain. But I did start doing more and more after, and I was learning. And like a couple months later, I was doing a healing on somebody through the phone, and she said that her headache was gone in the next minute.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow. So your healing abilities have really advanced.
yeah. Also, my mom got me a wand.
Mhm.
What I do is like I just like point it at what I'm trying to heal and just do a little circular movement like that. And I always imagined the light coming from the tip of the wand and going to the person I'm trying to heal, and that's how I did it back then.
Wonderful. That's great. So when you sent it to your grandparents, how do you know that they felt it? Or
I
I know
didn't.
you saw it, right?
Yeah. No, I didn't. I didn't know that they felt it. I just like did it. That's what it's always been until now, because now I could like sense it a lot better. Like before, it was just like hoping that it worked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's great. And when you're healing people now, it's increased. Like you said that person on the phone felt it within a minute, you said?
Yeah, that like moments like that was like, wow, this really is working. But now I'm like 100% sure that what I'm doing is real.
So are you just by knowing what they're saying, or are you getting confirmations, or how is that? Just by talking to them?
And yeah, I'm getting confirmations from myself now. Back then, like I said, I just had to hope that it worked. I had no idea how to actually check. But
Wow. So
like,
you're,
yeah. I also did a thing back then. We were doing Facebook healings with my mom, and she was showing me, she was scrolling down the list of people that she wanted me to try healing, and somehow a plate was the thing I needed to confirm what was actually going on. So I'd think of an answer, and I'd look at the plate, and somehow words floated off the plate saying yes or no to whatever I needed. So,
wow.
yeah. Now I can feel the energy, though, so I know it's working.
Yeah, you and I, when we were working on a project with your mom, and you were, I think I was doing some clearing throughout the planet, and you and your mom started helping me, and I remember that you were feeling the intensities of the energies, and you were
Oh,
getting like
yeah.
lightheaded. Do you remember that?
Yeah, was that when we
I-
were healing the world and you were like, oh,
Yep.
there's like, it's not white light, it's like blue light with rainbow sparkles. Yeah,
Yeah, that was
I
amazing.
know. My mom
Yeah.
has a healing room like over like right behind this wall, and
Hmm.
whenever I step into there, it's like I get so many headaches because there's so much healing going on, and like there's all these locations that she has printed copies of every single person she's healing,
Oh, she's
and
using the crystalline generator with
yeah,
the photo paper and the printer.
yeah. Every
Yeah,
time I step into that room, it's like, oh, I just want to leave. Like it's a
because
really, it's like you don't feel it at first, but then it finally kicks in you and you're feeling awful because there's
you're
just
taking
so
in the
many
you're
energies
you're
there.
taking in the energies that you're clearing. You're clearing the energies, but you're feeling the energies before they're actually cleared out.
Yeah,
So yeah, and you're doing so many over there that it's overwhelming. Because some of the places that you cleared have been very dark areas.
Oh yeah, I figure we should talk about that now. I was our family friend. She was going to Disneyland with her daughter, right? And I'm like, okay, you know what'll be a great idea? Let's heal the entire Disneyland. And I'm telling you right now, that was probably the worst idea I've ever had. So I went and I had the healing thing down there, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna heal this now. Closed my eyes, thought about it, and oh my god, a sea of blackness is rising from this picture and it's going to kill me. So I quickly went away, like out of the room, and I'm like, Mommy, I have a terrible headache. Yeah.
Wow.
I know. I've never seen anything like, it's like the entire park reacted to me. And it's like, what the heck are you doing? This is hour later.
So it was coming towards you, and what were you doing?
A rising sea of blackness coming toward, and it completely eclipsed the entire picture. I couldn't even see it anymore. It was just dark, bubbly darkness coming right up towards me from out of the phone. And like, I had to quickly put it down and get out of the room because seconds after I was just feeling horrible.
But then eventually it cleared out, right?
Yeah, with the help of you, of course. And our other friend.
Yeah. Well, it's a group effort. There's so many intense happenings a lot that it's more powerful when you use a group, because also sometimes, especially if you're feeling the energy, you can't really understand what's happening, so it's so helpful to have others, to assist with what's going on. So
yeah. It's really good to experience moments like that, though, because it like tells you that, yes, what you're doing is real and all this is real. So like, I'm grateful that times like that happen, because that just tells me more and more that what I'm doing is, real.
Absolutely. And also you can see things really, really well. You can see energies, correct?
Yeah. I used to be able to read auras back then. My mom had like a dark blue, like royal blue aura, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
My dad's like light green. His friend is like very bright red.
Mm-hmm.
The bright red is not bad. Like, I don't know what that means. I don't know what any of the colors mean. It's like, yeah, it's like the aura is like kind of, I guess
it's surrounding them.
It's more like smoky flames. And it's like coming off their body like a sun ray. And it's really cool.
That's very cool. Wow.
Yeah.
And you had an experience when you went on vacation lately. Right?
Yeah.
When you were doing lots of clearings, and can you share a little bit about that?
Oh yeah. LaRonde. Okay, so to preface this, I was already not feeling very great when we went to the amusement park because I had a horrible sunburn, and we later found out that this wasn't a sunburn, but it was dark residue from the days I was clearing as we went along, because when I was riding in the car on the way to the parks, I was clearing the roads and stuff, and I guess the dark was like, man, you can't do that here, get out. So anyway, my mom texted me, and she's like, you should probably do some clearing. And so, like, because she was telling that I was really, like, getting anxious, and I just wanted to leave the park, right? Because I am so grateful for her, by the way. Like, if it wasn't for her, I would never have gotten this far. I would have never known about any of this.
Wow.
Yeah. And you and your friend, obviously, like, we're just like the total dream team for...
Daddy guides us all, you know?
So, crystal generators. So what these basically are like manifested etheric constructs that I put down on cars, buildings, and the rides we went to. And what it basically does is, once you put it down, it'll start healing whatever it's on.
Oh.
And they're little diamond shapes to start with when I started off doing this. But then The first time I upgraded them was when I was in my mom's printer room and we were going through the photos and everything.
Okay.
And I put a crystalline generator, like the octagonal crystalline generator that Smarty uses, underneath it. And then that was my first upgrade. So I went upgrading from there. Every time I upgraded, it got a lot stronger signal, pulled in the source energy a lot more. That goes back to our LaRon story. So I was doing that at the start, right? And then I was like, oh, there's a radio tower here. I wonder what will happen if I put one on that. So I put the crystal on the radio tower, and the entire thing was hijacked. It was like bursting with energy instantly, just pulsing across the entire park area. And that was what basically destroyed the dark side. Like, they were completely gone. I checked it a few days. I kept checking it on the following days, and that radio tower was still going. Like, radio towers are no joke. If you hijack one of those things, that's going to be healing for the rest of the week. And it's like super powerful.
A lot of strong energy.
Yeah, because it's already like a frequency like emitter. So if you just give it your own frequencies, you can imagine how that's going to go.
When you were on your trip also, you were being used, right?
As bait, yeah.
Yes.
I know. It's like, I don't really, like, before being bait was like, oh my god, just please make it stop. And now I'm like, whatever, it's for a purpose, so.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're
it's
helping.
getting a lot easier, too, because, as long as you're in, like, healthy condition, like, there's not much they can really do to you anyway.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And no matter what happens to you, you're always healed.
Yeah.
So, and then you've done so much to help others, you know? So it's not just yourself, but you've healed others, helped others, and helped clear out the area.
Oh, yeah,
so,
definitely.
Raising vibrations.
I always want to put people above myself. Like, everybody who knows me knows that.
Service over self.
Yeah.
Yep. That's great. Now, you had a encounter with a Yeti, correct?
Oh, yeah. This was back at my grandparents' house. I woke up one day, and I went to the cantina area where all the pantry food is, right? I looked underneath the window, and there was this massive clump of hair I've never seen before. Like, it was white and black, and it had, like, dirt in it. I have no idea how it got there, because he doesn't own any pets. So, I picked it up, and I'm like, Mommy, look at this! And then she goes, yeah, I found some by your bed, too. And I'm like, what? Yeah. So my mom brought this massive clump of hair up to Smarty on his party, and he said, oh yeah, the Yeti's looking out for you. He's scouting you out, and you might be working with him someday. Okay, good. Freezing cold. That's so much better than humidity.
Now, did you have, where did you hear, who told you that? Was that just within that you heard that?
No, Source only wants to really show me specific things. Like, my mom always goes, oh, ask him this question or that question. And I'm like, I can't do it. Because every time I try to ask him something, it's either blank or I get a simple yes or no. And most of the time it's blank for really, like, things that he probably doesn't want me to know, I guess. Like,
I went through that. I went through that phase myself where that's exactly what I was getting. I was either getting nothing or yes or no.
Yeah.
And it's just, you're growing, whether you realize it or not, but that's a growth spurt, you know, that you're going through. And now he talks to me all the time. So I know that you know, because your mom said that you know the answers to things before she'll even ask you sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's Source talking to you also, knowing within.
Yeah,
So,
it's like I always get stuff thrown to me in my head, like whenever I'm not expecting it. And then she asked a little while later, and I'm like, yeah, That just happened.
Wow, so you're both like, you have telepathic communication going on and you're not even realizing it.
Yeah. I definitely realize it now, though. Like, I've opened up so much since the start of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's
Because you
pretty
were talking
crazy.
to her. You called her in the etheric, or you
Oh.
heard her
Oh,
voice.
yeah. That was a pretty interesting moment. So, in the past, I had this too. Like, I would always ask, "Were you calling my name?" And she goes, "No." And I kept asking. Like, I remember every single time I'm in the basement playing PS2, like way back. So I was sitting on my computer, a couple months ago, or a month
Mm-hmm.
ago. I have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
Time goes too fast and too slow all the time. I'm sitting on my computer gaming, and then I go and I'm like, "What was that?" I heard her calling my name, like, "Anthony!" So I went over to her and I asked, "Did you call my name?" And she said no. Then she says a few seconds later, "You heard me in the etheric, and we're at a battle right now."
You actually, I believe that was the instance that you made us realize that someone had gotten hit.
Oh, yeah,
And
everyone was on that, I'm pretty sure.
yeah, and someone was hurt. So by you actually calling her name, you're the one that brought it to people's attention.
Yeah. No, by her calling my name, and then I asked her
Yeah,
about it,
yeah,
yeah.
sorry. Yeah, by her calling your name.
Yeah.
And then you heard it in the physical and you went up there and asked her.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing in itself. It tells you your abilities, how much they've grown.
I know. I had it a few other times. Yeah, but it is a good indicator of what's happening, just listening to what you think might be just your brain talking nonsense.
Yeah, and that's usually source. Yes, giving you new information or so do so when you get a yes or no answer from him, is it in your head or is it in your heart or do you know where it's coming from?
Uh, Mostly in my heart, because it's
Okay.
very difficult to figure out what he's trying to say sometimes. It's always yes, no,
Mhm.
yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, and I have no idea what he's trying to communicate. So I had to like try and figure it out myself, really. Like, what's something that source would want to tell me? And would it be a yes or a no? And then I just figured it out myself because I have no idea what he's trying to say.
No, I just asked you because when I first started hearing from him, I heard him in my head. And then when I moved further, deeper, I started hearing him in my heart. So that's amazing.
Oh
You're
yeah,
hearing him.
no, heart is so important. The feeling
Mm-hmm.
you get, like, it is so much more accurate than anything else in your body, even your brain. Just
Absolutely.
just a little feeling of it is just the
Mm-hmm.
most accurate thing you need.
I agree 100%.
Because it's
That's
also very
amazing that you
good
know
for
that.
detecting vibrations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's like extremely important too. It's just it's like if you have a gut feeling, then you go along with it.
Yep. Absolutely. So Anthony, I know that the Yeti, you had that experience and you actually had physical evidence of that happening, which is absolutely amazing. Have you ever seen other beings or other situations related to other beings besides that one?
Well, interestingly, I think like very early on, this was like the time where I was like having dream central. Like almost every night, I was having dreams, and one of the dreams in particular, I cannot even begin to describe to you what I was seeing. It was so weird. There were so many things going on. It felt like a mess. So I had like I was like there was sort of like two parts of the dream. The first part was like not important. It was me with some gaming characters and we're supposed to do like some mission underwater or something. I have no idea what happened. But that's not important. The important part was that in the other section of my dream, my cat Fuzzy, who is my like we found out she's my guardian angel, and like she follows me around everywhere, so I definitely believe that. She always checks up on me and everything. But in this dream, She was like being escorted.
Wait, so Fuzzy
Hmm?
protects you?
Yeah, in the dream, Fuzzy was being escorted around by like 6 mermaids, all different colors. And
Really?
yeah, but I'm pretty sure they were all protecting her somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And she was being escorted to like some above water bases and stuff, and there was like wind turbines in the water or something. I have no idea what it was, but and she was being escorted around by a bunch of mermaids, and then they gave her a shield, like a pink, like sort of bubble shield, right? That looked suspiciously like crystalline generators, but I don't know. Maybe it was hexagons instead. I don't really remember as much, but I know it was geometric panels. So I always look at her and I'm like, oh yeah, she has the mermaid's blessing, and I remember that I always remember that for Fuzzy, just this pink little shield around her. Yeah,
That's
I
amazing.
don't know. The dream was
I have
weird.
chills right now. I have chills right now from that story.
Yeah, I know. I have no idea what happened. It was the weirdest dream I've ever seen.
Now, in the physical, do you feel protection from Fuzzy?
Uh, I don't know, but I know that she always wants to protect me.
Because your property where you all live, it's on a ley line,
It
right?
is?
Yes, your mom found that out. It's on a ley line, which means that it has lots of energies.
Oh, okay. That probably explains why it's so good then, because everything in this house, it's like so bright. The second we moved here, I could instantly feel that this is the place. Right?
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And like since then, everyone that's been coming to our house has been commenting on this too. They're like, it's so beautiful, it's so great here. And like the people who can sense energy are like, this house has such good frequency. Cause like, yeah.
And that's probably also from all the wands and the crystal
Yeah. I have a
generator.
feeling that's what it was.
And because your vibration and your mom's vibration is so high and it's raising all the vibrations around in the entire area. So that's amazing.
Yeah.
Because does Fuzzy, does she go on missions? Do you know?
Well, I don't know. I always think of her as like an interstellar kind of person, like she's a noble or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Bounty hunter, maybe? I don't know what she is, but she's always missing somehow. And like, we have no idea where she went in the house. One particular day, she was sitting on the porch. All the doors were closed. The next moment, she was sitting in the hallway. And like it was like she went through a portal or something. And we always think whenever she's like totally missing, we're like, oh yeah, she probably went through a portal again.
I have chills right now. I asked you that question because Source Daddy was kind of guiding me through that.
Yeah.
Because that's actually what I was getting also, is that she's going through portals.
I always had a feeling that somebody was watching me outside my house. I still do. And I caught a couple glimpses of it. 3 now. The first time I've ever seen it, it was like this. We were looking out for Fuzzy, and I saw this black flash in the bushes. I was sitting in the kitchen making something, and I look out the window by coincidence, and this black flash appears in this bush. And I'm like, what is that? And I'm thinking, that must be Fuzzy. So I'm going over there to check it out, and there she was, sitting right there. But that black flash couldn't possibly be her, because she's white and black. And like, it was like a total pitch black flash, right? The next one, which is even crazier, I saw this figure running across the porch, like from our front door window to the other side of the porch, and I rushed to Mommy's room, and I'm like, did you see that? And she's like, no. So it didn't make any noise, but it definitely looked like a tiny human being. Right?
Now,
just completely pitch black.
Was this during the day? Or
Yeah,
was this
during the day. Both of them were during the day. The one time that it happened during the night, I saw this like glimpse of somebody staring into the window, and then they just went away as soon as I looked. Like the same black thing. So
Now, have you checked to see what it was? Have you looked into it or who it was?
yeah, no, but Mummy did. She's like tells me everything. She's so great, and it all makes total sense. She told me, "Oh, that was Smarty watching over you," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense," because I never felt that it was something bad.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's amazing. That's amazing that you saw him
I know.
and that he
It's
saw
crazy
you,
now that
that
I
you
know
saw
it.
him. That's very beautiful. That's great. Yeah, yeah. Your mom, I know she tells me she explains a lot to you, but then when she'll explain to me what she's shared with you, you always have fantastic insight because then you can see it further.
Oh yeah, and then I tell you guys weirdo stories, and you're all like, "Oh my god!" Like completely out of the
Because
blue.
yeah, because you can, yeah, you're taking it interdimensionally and you can see actually shapes and just how all the energies are working, and that's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, when you were talking about music earlier, you had mentioned to me another time about the powerful energy, healing ability that music has.
Oh yeah. I'm sitting in the car and I'm listening to music, and some tracks are just like so. Take this for instance, right? A particular song came on, and it's like a symphony of healing went on. Like long guitar chords made waves of healing, and it like splashed against everything. And like on the beats, I was just like placing stuff everywhere. So some songs are really good, especially if they have deep chords and stuff, and like even some energetic songs too. Like if it has really high contrasting with the beats and like the music itself, it's a lot easier because on the contrasting beats you can put stuff down, and then when the chords come in you can splash it all with a wave of healing, and it activates everything, because it's so much easier to do that than just to activate everything manually, because it takes a very long time to do that. But some songs, like I was listening to Lady Gaga, and I'm like, turn that off. This is complete trash. I can't, I can't focus with this at all. It just feels dark, right? So yeah, some songs are really good for healing. Some aren't. I noticed that like rock definitely is really good for healing. Like not heavy metal, but definitely not heavy metal, but like long smooth rock and other
So
nice
it's
rock songs.
like it expands it and intensifies.
Yeah, it's definitely like songs like "We Built This City," for example. When it's
Mm-hmm.
like listen to the radio, it's like that's when the whole big wave of healing comes in and activates everything. So it's really good. It's so confusing to explain how this works, but it's like all working perfectly inside my head. So
No, I agree with you because definitely, I mean, music, everything is a vibration, everything is a frequency. So I definitely agree with you when it comes to the music and the healing, because if I'm working on something, I'll put it on certain songs to help me intensify and magnify what I'm doing when I'm doing the healing. Also, it vibrates further and it intensifies the strength of it. Now, you had an amazing experience where you actually shared some drawings.
yep, of ships in battle.
Yes.
This was crazy. So these are the ships I saw last night fighting alongside us. Obviously, we have the two types, the fighter and the carrier. The fighter, it sort of looked like this. Like where one wing's like that and the other's like that on the back of it. And on the side, it's like kind of armored like this, and the cockpit's in the middle with guns sticking out underneath it. And it's all shooting like source energy and stuff to evaporate the darkness, right? So it's like sort of, I know for a fact now that the fighter jet
is like it was kind of like spider eye designed for the back of it. I don't know why this thing looks so sinister, by the way, it being a source jet, but whatever. So it was like kind of spider eyed, and it was like a light blue jet, kinda. Both of these, by the way, they were like steel gray, like steel blue grayish. When I upgraded them to crystalline, they became like reflective. You could clearly see the crystals like bulking it up. And like I said, like I did here in this little note, the upgrade changed their color from the steel color to a golden white, so that reflectiveness made it like have a golden white shine to it. This is where all the soldiers came out of, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I only saw one during the battle, and that was when it was dropping off the crystalline chambers for us. And yeah, it carries crystalline chambers in the soldiers. And this is the thruster for the carrier ship.
For battles, I can't really interact much, but I always felt like I was like super important, right? Like I felt like a commander or something.
See that? Can I see the middle of that drawing again?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one in the middle. Oh, okay. That was I don't know if your mom shared this with you. I actually had a vision myself. It was an interdimensional experience. So I was awake, but then I went to sleep, and I actually saw that ship that you drew.
Which one? The little one or the big one?
The one in the middle.
Oh. Wow, really?
Yes. Yeah, I don't think she shared that with you. So I put that in the back of my mind to share that today. Yeah, I saw that. And I was remote viewing someone, and I was actually inside that little craft.
Oh,
yes.
Cool. How was it?
I mean, it was real quick.
It definitely looks comfortable.
I was inside one, and I saw another one, like, because there were two like flying next to each other, so I could see the other one better because I was inside the other one. I was looking at the person inside the ship I was in.
Yeah.
And so it was only, I mean, it lasted maybe 5-7 seconds. So it was real quick. But the outline of it was after I had seen that drawing. And it was maybe a couple weeks after. And that's it. It's exactly what I saw.
Wow.
It just shows you that in the etheric and the physical, we're all, there's so many of us working together, connected together, whether it's a battle, a mission, helping others, more so than what we even realize.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Have you ever had any experiences, like visions of you in the new reality, or see yourself like in your new life at all? Have you ever experienced that?
A little bit. It sort of looks like a sci-fi space station whenever we're inside the big ship I was talking about. I always imagine there being like this big there's two tables. One I don't know what the purpose is, but the other's like a sort of like planning room table. And there's like a little kitchenette beside it. There's all little bays where we can sleep. Then the big control room in the front. Like, so I'm guessing what it is, it's like this part right here. And then all the living space is right here. And then this is where we all like come out of the ship. And I guess this is the crystalline chambers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's one of them. The other is like me talking to a group of people. I don't really remember much because they all vary so much. But oh, Fuzzy's here right now if you want to say hi. Fuzzy, come in. She doesn't want to get up from the floor.
That's okay. Now, you had an experience related to Wendy's. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah. I was waiting to talk about this one. So, this is still something I have to this day. I don't want to ever eat food from Wendy's. So we were going downtown to like the truckers protest, right? Downtown Toronto. And we had a choice. Do you want Wendy's or do you want McDonald's? And instantly, this dark castle illuminated by a red sky behind it. And right in the front was the big word Wendy's and the logo for it. And I'm like, no, don't go to Wendy's. It's terrible. They're still using like horrible meat made from people, right?
So it's almost like you could see the dark energy, and it was almost like it was a warning to you not to go there.
Yeah.
Well, it's amazing how there's so many forces out there, not just with Source or Daddy or Smarty, but there's angels, galactics. There's so many, fuzzy,
Yeah.
protecting. There's so many different types of protections, and just tuning in etherically and telepathically, you're getting messages all the time.
Yeah.
So even from your higher self, from friends, family, just, anyone that you're connected to. So, because we're all connected together.
Yeah.
So
it's always really funny. It always comes whenever you least expect it. Because when you're listening to it, you don't hear anything. When you're not listening to it, it's like one of the emergency alerts on your phone. It's like, Anthony, listen to this. Like, well, maybe my warning.
Yeah, maybe it's just when you're ready to hear it, or you need to hear it. Or,
yeah, when I need to hear it, definitely.
Yeah, when you need to hear it. So, is there anything else that you would like to add?
I don't really think so, unless you have something.
I just wanted to say I think it's absolutely amazing how advanced you are and how you can see the energies, and you're developing and growing so quickly, just in even the short time that I've met you. And it's fascinating. And I love it that you're not limiting yourself, and you're just letting yourself grow.
Yeah.
And take things to the... That's why I thought it would be for people to hear what you had to say and see where you are coming from, and just where you've grown, and just how you just let yourself flourish and develop. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Just think where you're at now and where you're going to be so soon.
Oh, God, yeah. I'm still concerned about the crystalline upgrades, like when our body finally changes to that crystalline form. I'm always thinking, I don't know what I want to be. But now I'm thinking, okay, I'll just let Source decide for me. Like, that's probably the simplest answer. I'd be like that too. Whenever my mom's like, oh, you should try manifesting a car. I'm like, I'll manifest whatever car Source wants me to get. Like, whatever he thinks I need. Like, I don't know what to do.
Absolutely, because you may not even need a car. You'll be going straight to a spaceship.
I know.
And going in and out of portals. Who needs a car? Can create your own portals.
Yeah, right. But I'm pretty sure I'll definitely be a healer in the new reality. Like, I know it's gonna happen.
Well, you're already doing it.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing. Like, it's really hard for me to interact with battles, but I can like upgrade everything and heal everyone. So I know that that's gonna be my purpose. Upgrading and healing.
That's wonderful. Well, thanks so much, Anthony. I so appreciate you sharing your story and sharing what you've gone through and where you're at. And I know by people watching this, it will help them look into where they're at and help develop their skills. So I still look forward to working with you. Thank you.
You too.
All right, take care.
Bye.
Okay. All right. Bye.